Fox Sports.
We are sports. We are Sun.
Last night at the Trop, the Rays suffered another heartbreaking one-run defeat, this time at the hands of the Philadelphia Phillies. Tonight, in Game 2, it's a marquee pitching matchup with right-hander Chris Archer taking on the newly minted Phillies ace, Jake Arrieta. We welcome you to Tropicana Field. Interleague Baseball continues tonight. This will be Game 2 of the series as the Rays play host to the Philadelphia Phillies. And last night, another one-run game for the Rays. That's 9 in 12 games played. Hi again, everyone, and welcome to an evening of Rays baseball with Brian Anderson, Dwayne Stats. Great to have you aboard. And what a pitching matchup tonight. Chris Archer, the guy who excels in the strikeout department, and Jake Arrieta, who all he does is win.
Listen, and since 2015, both of these guys right at the top of the leaderboards in those respective categories. With Chris Archer, like you said, it's all about the strikeouts, and really no surprise there when you look at his stuff and the way that he gets it done. He has the high-octane fastball, and what that does is force quick decisions. On top of that, he's got a wipeout slider, and oftentimes that leads to bad decisions. And so he is fourth in Major League Baseball since 2015 with 756 strikeouts. There's been no regression of the stuff, so you expect those numbers to remain very, very solid. And Jake Arrieta, like you said, all he does is win. And you look since 2015, 54 wins. His record is 54 and 24. 30 games above 500, including 22 in 2015 when he won the Cy Young. And he expects to win a whole lot more with a young Philadelphia Philly team that expects a lot from itself.
There is a look at Jake Arrieta, a late sign by the Phillies. He's one of the reasons they're serious about their hopes in the National League East this year. First time these two clubs have gotten together since 2015 in the regular season, but the big show was in 2008 in the World Series. And when we come back, Michelle has some conversations about all of that featuring Rocco Baldelli.
series against the Phillies. Well, back in 2008, current Rays field coordinator Rocco Baldelli hit a home run in Game 5 of the World Series against the Philadelphia Phillies. So now that they are back here at the Trop, I found it only appropriate that I ask him what his favorite memories were from that experience.
I have a lot of really good memories. I mean, that's probably the highlight of my entire career for me in a lot of ways. The playoffs, and especially that series against the Red Sox, and then going into the World Series. Obviously, we didn't play as well as we could, and we all know that, the people that were there, but it was a tremendous experience, just going through that with all the guys and playing that hard and going that far, coming off of not really having that much success before that. It was kind of like a dream come true in some ways.
When we come back, it's Rays ace Chris Archer on the mound against Jake Arrieta and the Philadelphia Phillies in Game 2 of the 3-game series. Dwayne and BA will have the call in just a few moments. Stay with us.
To get them on the winning side of the ledger again after last night's 2-1 loss. The Rays had won a couple of games over the Chicago White Sox to open that series, then lost the final game of that matchup with Chicago 2-1 before dropping last night's game 2-1. A lot of close games, including the one last night with the Phillies. Tonight's starting lineup for Philadelphia, presented by your Southern Ford dealers. Cesar Hernandez leads it off again at second, followed by Carlos Santana at first. Odubel Herrera is the center fielder. Hoskins, the DH. Reese Hoskins is the cleanup man with Nick Williams in right. Scott Kingery will be in left field. He'll hit sixth with Franco, Alfaro, and Crawford 7, 8, and 9 in the Philly lineup.
Well, in this young season here in 2018, Chris Archer making his 4th start. I like the record 1-0, ERA 5.94, has 22 strikeouts to go along with 7 walks in 16 2/3 innings.
All set to play baseball, and so Archer, in 3 prior starts, 1-0. And in steps Hernandez. This pitch is a strike. So we're underway right on time tonight, 10 minutes past the hour. Jim Wolf is calling the balls and strikes. Upstairs, now 1-1. Phillies come in 7-5 after a 1-4 start. Two and one. Tapper, that's going to square the count. Gabe Kapler, manager of the Philadelphia Phillies. Things have settled down the last few games. A little bit of a rough start for him. And the Philly fans are all about letting you know it. On the ground to second. Wendell up with this one. One away.
Well, let's take a look at the rest of the Rays defense. Going to line up this way, brought to you by Golden Diamond Source, and in the outfield left to right, Malik Smith, Kevin Kiermaier, and Johnny Field getting the opportunity out there and right. And then across that infield third to first, Matt Duffy, Echeverria, Wendell, and Crone. Wilson Ramos will be back behind the plate. You know, getting back to what you were talking about, Dwayne, with Gabe Kapler, winning will do that. Will calm some things down. And that's what they've done. They've won their last 4, 6 of their last 9.
And the pitch to Santana is wide. 1 ball, no strikes. One and one to count. Cut and a miss. Santana, formerly with the Indians, drove in a run last night. He went 1 for 4. And the one guy in this lineup who Archer has a history facing. He is 6 of 16 against Chris. Now 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Well, Carlos Santana, a very patient hitter. You know, he's up over 4.2 pitches per plate appearance for his career.
And
takes
right in with the Phillies.
He fits right in. You know, initially when they signed him, my thought was Carlos Santana, while he can hold his own down there at first base, no question about it, I thought he was going to be a guy signed with the team where the DH was an option. But when you look at what the Phillies wanted from their offense, boy, oh boy, does he fit the bill.
And a foul ball, a little piece of that one right off the mask of Wilson Ramos. Yeah, because they're all about seeing a lot of pitches as Wilson makes sure that right jaw is all right. Power, he has pop in that bat. You'll see a lot of pitches and hit that home run on occasion.
The way they pile him up right behind Cesar Hernandez too, right at the top of the leaderboard, and walks taken already.
Sharply hit foul.
But that, you know, that's what Gabe Kapler, you know, some of the things that he wanted to accomplish offensively, and you see what they did. You know, they bolster the bullpen, of course, with Tommy Hunter. He was a quick sign. Then Carlos Santana, they bring Jake Arrieta in during the course of spring training to bolster the starting staff.
Yeah, that averages out to about $55 million a year for those 3 guys.
Well, and what that tells you too is they expect to take that next step right now. You know, they're not waiting for a year. They've got a lot of good young players, a nice young core, but they expect to contend this year. And Gabe Kapler came out the first week of the season when things weren't going so well for them and said, this team's going to the playoffs. So he served notice that that's what they expect to do.
That's a ball down and in.
How many times do you see a guy take a slider from Chris Archer that close? But that's what we're talking about. You see a lot of pitches, you have a good idea, and you
Yeah,
a good, strongly defined strike zone.
and the more these hitters, you see that just barely missed, but so many at bats against Archer, and the more they see of each other, obviously the more familiar they are, pitcher hitter and hitter pitcher. Now Herrera, Duval Herrera, and a 317 for the year. Had an infield hit last night in 4 at bats, a couple strikeouts. And there's the slider in for a strike. Well, Archer against left-handed hitters have been about even. Lefty against that slider and the fastball. And we know overall he can be way heavy on the slider.
Well, especially when you get to him or get him ahead in the count with 2 strikes, especially. That is his put away pitch. There's no question about that. He'll pick up some strikeouts on the fastball just because he's got a good one with good velocity. But the vast majority are going to come on that slider, both righties and lefties.
Ahead of Herrera, 0-2. Good news from the Lightning, a 5-3 win over New Jersey. So they're up in that series 2-0. Well,
it's nice to see that somebody wearing blue and white can play hockey.
That's a little looper gonna fall into left toward the line. Smith over to pick it up. Just a soft serve on the 0-2 pitch, and Herrera has a base hit.
Just perfectly placed, you know, inside out that ball, and third baseman's pulled in just a little bit, wasn't going to get to it anyway, and you end up in no man's land. That slider stays middle, almost middle away, and that allows Herrera to get and stay inside it. Not great contact, but great placement.
Well, coming into play this year, 3 starts in, lefties are hitting .393 off Archer. Right-handers well under that at 184.
And how about the fact that of the 8 walks from Chris Archer, 6 have come against lefties? That's the same kind of issue that we saw with Jake Faria over the course of his, you know, short major league career. Most of his walks have come against left-handed hitters.
1-0 to Hoskins. .333 average with a couple of home runs for the Phillies DH. He was in left field last night. Now a strike. With the fastball, it's 2-1. 2 men on, 1 out in the first, and Archer's hit the 20 pitch mark.
This is the theory. This is what Gabe Kapler's talking about. When you can grind out at bats and you get pitchers' pitch count high in 1 inning, he said the stuff's not going to be as sharp. Fatigue starts to set in, and that's when we have an opportunity to have a big inning.
And a nice pickup, 1 hop. Out at second, out at first. Echeverria starts the double play with Wendell in the middle and on to Crone. 6-4-3 on the double play. Rays coming in to hit. Malik Smith will be in the leadoff spot. Echeverria has an errorless streak of 63 consecutive games going, and this was not an easy chance by any stretch.
Absolute bullet off the bat of Hoskins, and a hot one-hopper backhand. I mean, you didn't have time to even move, but you see the hand-eye coordination, nifty glove work, and then at that point it just becomes an easy turn.
Starting lineup presented by your Southern Ford dealers. Malik Smith leads it off, followed by Gomez and Kiermaier. Crone, Wendell, and Duffy down the middle. It will be Ramos, Echeverria, and Johnny Field makes the start. Joining the team from Durham, he'll hit ninth. Jake Arrieta on the hill for this Philadelphia ball club, and the first pitch is a ball to Malik Smith. Big addition to the Philadelphia starting rotation. There's a strike, 1-1. It's wide, now 2-1. Arrieta coming off a Sunday start and no decision. And he picks up the zone right there.
Sad to report, Dwayne, here in the bottom of the first, that the unicorn is no longer with us.
It's gone.
Gone.
Two, and this one is down and in. Full count. We'll persevere.
I was going to say it's up to us to keep our chin up and power through.
The chop headed towards second, and out at first. Hernandez to Santana.
Well, Dwayne, you mentioned that Jake Arrieta, a big signing here for the Philadelphia Phillies. Let's take a look at the scouting report on Jake. And that signing, I think, was all about sending a message, not only to your own team, but the rest of the league, that we mean business. You don't bring a guy like Jake Arrieta in unless you feel like you can win. Gabe Kapler's already gone on record saying that he expects his team to be in the playoffs. Well, signing a guy like Jake will send that message around the league. And number one, the remix. And when you talk about the remix with Jake Arrieta, it's the way that he has changed his arsenal, really overhauled his arsenal.
Franco takes care of this little tap off the bat of Gomez.
When he was with Baltimore, he was more of a four-seam fastball, curveball guy, and the results really never were there. It never worked out for him. Well, then he goes to the Chicago Cubs. He starts working with Chris Bosio. The four-seamer starts to go away, more two-seamer. He still has the good curveball. Then he's got a little cutter-slider hybrid that he's mixed in. And since he has done that, he has absolutely taken off. And as we said in the open, since 2015, he is 54-24, 30 games over 500.
And he does give Chris Bosio a lot of credit. Crawford at shortstop takes care of this one. A ground ball. 3 up, 3 down, and we're headed into the second. No score. by WB Mason. Who but WB Mason, the official office supply company of the Tampa Bay Rays. And by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Well, the Lightning side of that has made that fans' night, and the Rays hoping that they can complete that duo. There's Nick Williams. Pitch is down, 1-0.
Lightning already won. My man was well out in front of that hot dog he was eating because he was going to town on that thing.
Yep.
Are you kidding me? And then you complete the day with the little nightcap.
Shot to center field off Williams' bat. Kiermaier will go to the wall, and that one will rebound to him. Into second base goes Williams. He's in there standing up. He didn't miss a homer by much. High off the center field wall.
Yeah, and that just looked strange because initially it looked like Kevin Kiermaier was starting to count his steps and kind of size up that well-struck ball into center field to be able to leap and make a catch. And then at the last minute, watch how he tracks this. This ball right over his head. He goes back. You see him right there start to, oh, maybe he didn't see it. There was something right there at the end where he all of a sudden pulls off, because usually balls hit that high, even if they are that deep. And maybe that was right there where he lost sight of it.
You know, that's interesting. Gabe Kapler was talking about his team coming in here and talking to their outfielders about how they track fly balls, and he mentioned that Kiermaier playing here, he's watched him and he tracks the ball, never purposely loses sight of it. One strike to count here on Scott Kingery. That's in contrast to trying to hightail it to where you think that ball is going to come down, and you get there and then pick it up in the sky again. But against the roof, he tries to track it all the way.
And that's where the problem may have lied, Dwayne. We're going to get another shot at that.
Two to Kingery. Into the dirt. Backhanded stop to block it.
Watch the route that Kiermaier takes here. Watch him initially. He's squared up, going to turn to his left. Ball's over his head, turns to his right. So there was a split second that his head, and he had his head on a swivel, but there was a split second as he turned all the way around that he may have lost sight of that, because that's what it looks like. Usually balls like that, he's going to get to, unless all of a sudden for a split second he lost it.
It's blocked, and it's 2-2.
Yeah, that initial turn was to the left. He sees that ball going behind him. Now you've got to turn all the way, and he yanked that head around as quick as he could, but I think he may have lost it there.
Yeah, it's tough to pick it up again. I mean, we've seen that over and over. Obviously with great outfielders, and he is a great outfielder, and visiting outfielders for sure. Down to third, fair. It gets past Duffy. Williams will score. Kingery has a double. Philadelphia has a one-run lead.
Well, Kingery, boy, one of those youngsters that they're very high on here with Philadelphia, battling at bat, 2 strikes, and he is just able to keep that fair. Got a fastball, able to turn on it, and Matt Duffy that close.
So back-to-back doubles. Nobody out. Franco, the third baseman, steps in. Pitch is upstairs. Franco, couple of home runs, 12 runs batted in, and this is the 13th game of the year for Philadelphia. That'll play 1-1.
And you know, he didn't play coming into tonight. He hadn't played in 2 of the previous 3 games, and so, and you know, that happened early in the year to Nick Williams. Same thing that happened with Nick. Look at the top of the cupcakes coming off, Dwayne. It's got that three-dimensional look. It looks like shaving cream.
It does. Or that, what do they call that? That sugar. It's like hardened sugar that decorates a cake when you put happy birthday or something on it.
I think that's what it's called, hardened sugar that decorates a cake. That's how I asked for it.
2-1 the count.
Our cake expert is no longer with us.
Yeah, well, we'll have to send out for help.
When you jump out, what does they call that top part?
Well, we know it's something that has some give in it. Well, there's ball 4. Well, a couple walks already. The Phillies have 3 hits, 2 walks, and a run. 2 men on here with nobody out in the second.
You know what? And a 4-3 from Cesar Hernandez and a 6-4-3 from Rhys Hoskins. And both of those balls were hit extremely hard.
Yep. Yeah, you hit the ball as hard as Hoskins did. He blistered that ball and turned it into a double play. Kyle Snyder spending some time with the Rays right-hander. Chris Archer off to a little bit of a shaky start here. Strikes to non-strikes, 18-15 the count on that. And here's the catcher, Alfaro. Jorge Alfaro. Pitch is wide. It's foul out of play, 1-1. Williams doubled off the center field wall, a double by Kingery. Then the walk to Franco, a run home, and a threat to build a big inning here as Archer tries to prevent that. A miss.
Well, the slider here stays up.
He's had a few of
Fortunately,
those.
yeah, and not a lot of depth to it. You know, when his slider's going good, the velocity, of course, is going to be there, but it has that good down action, that curveball look at times. But there have been a few here tonight that have just kind of rolled in. Good velocity on them, but staying up and flat. There you go.
And he got him there. Faro tried to hold up. Rayburn down at first. Says he went around on that slider.
Well, he got on top of it and got it down in the zone and below. Hair too far.
Well, a big strikeout for Archer. Runner still at first and second, now 1 gone. J.P. Crawford, the shortstop. Crawford had a double and a run scored last night. The 6th inning double led to their first run. And there's a strike. Here, Archer's trying to limit the Phillies to only the 1 run they already have in this inning. And if he can do that, that would be quite an accomplishment with the start of this inning. One. This one in the dirt. Stopped by Ramos. Jim Wolf puts a new ball into play. Two and one. Both the Rays' last two losses have been one-run games. They've lost 4 consecutive games at home after winning the season opener. So they're 1-4 at home, 2-6 on the road, and there is strike 2. Archer slowing the pace here in an early jam. Hot shot, fair. Just fair down behind the bullpen. Kingery scores. Franco's going to stop at third. Crawford has a double, and it's 2-0. That ball was just fair, got by the diving Crone.
Well, they're staying away from Crawford and then all of a sudden trying to close him with the slider down and in. Boy, he goes out and gets it before it's able to finish its break and hammers it just inside the line.
And boy, what a difference that pitch makes in this inning. If he gets him, that's the second out. But now there's still only one out, another run home, and 2 more men in scoring position. So each hitter becomes that much bigger in the scheme of things for Archer.
And Cesar Hernandez is already getting a second look at.
Yep. So 5 pitches in the first before grounding out, and now he's up here again in the second inning against a drawn-in infield. Out of play, 0-2. Franco third, Crawford second.
He got the hardened sugar thing from the top of the cake put back on correctly.
Oh,
the
perfect.
helmet. Yep.
There you are. Base hit, punch through the left side. Franco scores. Crawford goes to third. It's 3-0 Philadelphia, and Hernandez drives in a run. Down on the count, 0-2.
How many hits have the Phillies had already? Big hits with 2 strikes. Just not able to close them out here today. Another slider that stayed up. Not a whole lot of bite to it. That was just a flat pitch out over the plate, and Hernandez, a good leadoff hitter, stays inside of it and pokes it right through.
Yeah, they have 5 hits, 4 with some variation of a 2-strike count.
And this is a guy, usually the last thing you want to see is 2 strikes on you because of the way and the ability that he has to put you away.
Now it's Carlos Santana. Santana breaks his bat, lines a single into center field. Another run is in. Crawford crosses the plate. Hernandez goes to third, and the Phillies are putting together a big inning. 4-0 ball game.
Now trying to find something that works here, and we've seen a number of flat sliders. This was a fastball yanked, supposed to be away, ends up middle. And Santana's able to get to it. Just too many mistakes that Philadelphia hitters have been able to take advantage of. And a lot of times, you know, we see with Chris that mistakes that he does make in other games, the team still can't capitalize on, because the velocity on the fastball or the slider, what they're expecting from it, they're still not able to get anything done. But tonight, Philadelphia is honing in.
Herrera after the first pitch, a liner into center, 1 hop in front of Kiermaier. Hernandez scores. Santana moves to second. It's a 5-0 ball game already. Herrera lines an RBI single into center. 6 hits in the inning.
Another slider that stays up. Not a whole lot of break on it, and that's the refrain here from today. The fastballs are finding the middle of the plate. The slider that just doesn't have the depth.
Hoskins, the 9th hitter to come to the plate. Still just 1 out. Fastball is a little bit outside. Austin Pruitt up in the bullpen. Hoskins hit the ball very hard, grounded into the double play. And he checks on the pitch up and in from the fastball. 2-0. Well, the Rays would love to see the double play again. Strike at the knees. Two and one. Seven of the 8 hitters have reached in the inning. 4 have scored. There's a ground ball first. Out at second. Crone and Archer trying to get to the bag at first. Archer's late. Safe the call there. Another run will score. And the ball out of play, which means the hitter runner will be awarded third base.
I want to see if it looked like maybe the Rays got him at first base. I know the call was safe, but that was awfully close, and Kevin Cash obviously want to take a look at it. Here's Wendell trying to lead Archer to the bag and end this inning. Catch, maybe not. Let's see the feet. Oh, no.
Just short.
Yep. It was the right call. Unfortunately, I thought maybe that left foot caught the edge of the bag. Not the case.
So now Nick Williams up here. Oh, it has turned out to be a disaster of an inning. 10th man of the inning hitting, Nick Williams. One strike to count. This one is wide, 1-1.
I'm not able to get there in time, and then boy, just trying to make something happen. You're so desperate. It's been such a nightmarish inning, and you're wide on the throw.
With a swing and a miss. Now 1-2. Two gone in the inning, a man at third. Ground ball to first. That will be handled unassisted by Crone, but 10 men come to the plate, and the Phillies build a 6-0 lead. A long, torturous inning for Chris Archer. 6-0 Philadelphia. to the plate in the top of the second. And the Rays have C.J. Cron leading it off. 1 ball, no strikes. Foul ball back, 1-1. Well, 6 runs batted in. There was an error in the inning, but all 6 of those runs will be earned. Hoskins reached on that fielder's choice, wound up going all the way to third on the error charge to Archer on the off-balance throw. There's a ball that clips Arrieta and rolls toward shallow right field. Akin to a kick save right there by Arrieta with his right foot. Cron is aboard.
Well, they had everybody swung around. Right side wide open. Sinker stays up. Good attempt, but the redirect. No one there to help you out.
So the Rays put the first hitter aboard here in the second inning. And Joey Wendell will step in. That's a strike. So the Rays have their work cut out for them tonight against the right-hander Jake Arrieta.
Well, it's
but I guess if you're going to be behind big, get behind big early.
Yeah, then you know what's out in front of you, what you're going to need to do.
Ground ball down to first, out at first, throw to second, tag is on, and they get him there. 3-6 on the double play.
And not an easy throw at all from Carlos Santana. When you think about a guy, making that nice little snag down there at first base, stepping on the bag, and then you got to throw it to second for the tag, and you got to almost throw it through the runner or right to his left to get it. Right-handed, you're at a disadvantage here, and he throws a bullet just off to the left of C.J. Cron and puts it there where J.P. Crawford can handle it.
Yeah, his game at first base is defensively not bad. It's actually better than that. He's been a pretty good first baseman down there and has been recognized so. And you're right, that's not an easy play to make, to get it down to the middle infielder for the tag play. Strike 2 now to Duffy.
You're just not afforded that time to be able to create an angle. You've got to make the angle with the accuracy of your throw with a very small window to get it in.
Duffy reaching, and he is out on strikes. So the Rays are out in the second, down 6-0.
in the top of the third inning, and I am here with John Field, Johnny Field's father. Johnny is making his first major league start. What is this like for you?
It's very exciting. Today it's a little nerve-wracking, but it's been a blast.
He told me that when he called his mom couldn't stop crying. So what was your reaction when he called you?
Well, we were hoping a couple weeks earlier that he might have got a call. So when he called me, I was more or less excited, but I kind of told him it's about time. We're ready.
How do you think he's been handling all this?
Oh, he's great. He's, pressure. He's been around it his whole life. So, I mean, obviously he's super excited, but he's ready to go.
Now, he hasn't come up to bat yet, but what is it like seeing him on a major league field?
It's pretty awesome. I mean, it's, I'm nervous. So normally I'm not nervous, but today I got to admit I'm nervous. So.
What did you say to him before today's game?
I don't know if I can say that on camera, but I just basically said, square some balls up and do your best.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time and congratulations.
Thank you, Michelle.
Back to you guys.
All right, Michelle, thank you very much. Here's a foul ball out of play off the bat of Franco. Kingery hit a fly ball to center, caught by Kiermaier. So a 2-strike count on the Philly third baseman. Archer made 34 pitches in the second. A foul right back.
Wouldn't it be great if Johnny Field was the guy to get the big hit as the Rays come storming all the way back?
Well, I'm going to tell you, they were doing something right down at AAA. The Durham Bulls, they'd scored, they scored 12 runs yesterday. And I think have 38 runs scored already in the early part of their year. So they're swinging the bat, so maybe Field can bring some of that offense up here. The Rays would certainly be happy to take some of that from him. It's been a challenge scoring runs at all. And now Franco is out on strikes. So 2 up, 2 down in the third.
We get the fastball by him as Franco pulls off of it.
Jorge Alfaro, the catcher. A fastball by him. Well, a tough second inning, 6 runs, 6 hits, and a little different look here in the third. He's ahead of Alfaro. He got ahead of Franco and finished him with a fastball after getting Kingery on the fly ball to center. Now 0-2 to the catcher.
Well, if nothing else, you want to see him get a couple more innings out here so you don't torch the bullpen.
Back into the screen. That's why now to get 2 quick outs the way he has, and he's hoping to dispose of the number 8 hitter here for that reason.
Yeah, the bullpen's been under enough pressure when the Rays right at the end of spring training lose Nathan Eovaldi and they're forced to go with the 3-man rotation and 2 bullpen days. It's asking an awful lot. And so if you have, when those 3 guys do start between Blake Snell, Chris Archer, and Jake Faria, if they have a short abbreviated outing, wow. And the Rays have only made 1 move, for this bullpen. That was Ryan Weber, and it was only for a couple of days. So these guys have been out there, doing what they have to do to get through these ball games, and it can be challenging.
Fly ball right center field. And that ball will be caught by Field a couple steps from the wall. He'll be coming up to hit third in the bottom of the third. The young outfielder on his way back to the Rays dugout.
of a obviously moment everyone dreams of, and for it to be happening tonight, so excited to go out there and make the most of my opportunity. The fact that you're here now and get a chance to help this team win, whether it's opening day or 10 days into the season, whatever it is, it doesn't really matter. Down here and want to make the most of it.
And we'll see him hit third in the bottom of the third. Wilson Ramos leads it off. Then Danny Echeverria, followed by Johnny Field, all against Jake Arrieta. Pitch, and Ramos takes a strike. Arrieta gave up that base hit to Crone. Arrieta reaching out with his right foot, kicked the ball to the right side, but it was pretty much vacant over there. That went as a base hit. And then he threw the double play ball to Wendell. Foul ball out of play by Ramos. 0-2. Upstairs, 1-2. Roller headed to short. B. Crawford makes the pickup and the throw, and Ramos is the first out. Now, Danny Echeverria. One ball, no strikes. Echeverria chops it down to Franco. Another ground ball. 2 up and 2 down. The ground ball is something that is a big part of Arrieta's success story. And now Johnny Field will make his major league debut. We heard from his father. We already heard about the reaction when he called his mother. She was in immediate tears for joy.
Oh, she's recovered just in time.
And here's Field taking the pitch for a strike. Well, what a way to break in against a guy like Jake Arrieta. There's his mother.
Trying to hang on. What a moment.
And the tears are coming again. Mother Maureen.
Like you said, he's facing the winningest pitcher since 2015.
Stairs to ball and 2 strikes. Field came out of the University of Arizona. Rays drafted him in 2013. This one breaks wide. 2-2. Getting behind 0-2, a full count. Field was with the team this spring right down to the end. And Kevin Cass said it was a tough decision to make. And Rev Snyder became available. They went outside the organization for that final spot. Field wound up in Durham, and here he is. Ground ball down to third. Franco with the throw to first. 3 ground ball outs. Johnny Field has that first big league at bat. The Rays are up and down 1, 2, 3, and we go to the 4th. It's a 6-0 ball game. We'll take a look. And Johnny Field's dad one more time after the completion of that first big league at bat. Six-0 ball game. We go to the fourth, and J.P. Crawford leads it off, taking the first pitch for a strike. Well, after a 10-man, 34-pitch second inning for Archer, he came right out, had a quick 1-2-3 third. Now deals with the shortstop Crawford. 1-1 to count. Tell you, the first time through this lineup and beyond, they went, I guess, 4 deep, actually 5 deep into the lineup before the second inning was over. But those first 4 hitters continued to hit the ball hard. There's a shot deep into right field. Great elevation and out of here. Second home run of the year for J.P. Crawford. 7-0.
Well, here's the thing. Let's go back to J.P. Crawford, his first double. First at bat, the double that he hit. It was a 2-strike slider that they tried to come in, and he turned and burned on it right up the right field line. So what adjustment is made? Well, there wasn't one made. 2 strikes, going to try to come with the slider in again. I mean,
a strike to Hernandez. Fly ball lifted toward the line and left. Malik Smith in foul territory makes the catch as he hits the bullpen mound. 1 away. Here's the Crawford home run.
well, it just turned out to be 2. Not only did they try to come in with the same exact pitch that they got hurt on the last time they faced him, but it was another slider that didn't have the depth. And so he was able to get into it and extend that lead.
Ball, no strikes. Pruitt is once again up in the bullpen. Into center field. Kiermaier's right there to catch this one. Carlos Santana is the second out. Odubel Herrera up here. He's 2 for 2 with the run batted in. Pitch is too low. 1 ball, no strikes. Well, these Philly hitters, for not having seen Archer, with the exception of Santana, who had 16 career at bats against him, they've had their way with Archer tonight.
Their game plan has been as good as anybody that we've seen face Chris
And you know
Archer.
what that really tells you? The ability now. I mean, it's great to see a pitcher, and there's really nothing that you can replace that with. But a pitcher can be so scouted, and hitters likewise, even though you haven't actually faced one another. But you have a pretty good idea of what you're going to get, or at least what the intent is. And if they, in this case, Archer doesn't get the ball where he needs to get it, then they've made him pay.
Let me ask you this: throughout this, Philadelphia Philly onslaught, how many fastballs have you seen on the inner half of the plate? Name one.
Yeah.
If you could find one, that'd be great. Not one fastball in the inner half. So they're looking fastball middle away, and they're looking for the slider to be elevated, and they haven't missed.
Yep. And Archer looking for the call there.
You allow big league hitters to have no fear of ever being pitched in, your margin for error gets smaller and smaller and smaller.
Yep. Well, you better execute with almost every pitch. Hopper third base side. Duffy's after it and will make the catch. Couple steps from that low wall. 1 run on the home run by J.P. Crawford. Duffy takes care of the final out of the 4th inning. On to the bottom of the frame, it's 7-0 Phillies. Making his second start for the Phillies, has a big lead. They've supported him to the tune of 7 runs on 8 hits. He's faced 9 men, gave up the deflected base hit by Crone in the 2nd, and then threw the double play ball. So here's Malik Smith on the ground toward the shortstop. Crawford up with it. Now, high throw. That's going to be a base hit. Malik Smith on the infield hit to the shortstop as Crawford had to circle that one to try to find himself in a position to make a play.
Well, you're moving to your right, and so that means you're going to have to rush the throw. And if it's everything is perfect, he's got a chance, but you see as he rushes it, it sails. And this is where speed, and he smells that base hit, and he gets that base hit.
Now Carlos Gomez moved to first. That ball popping away, deflecting off Smith. Arrieta. Been an interesting road for Jake Arrieta. The Rays first saw him when he was with the Orioles. Ball, no strikes. He had a run of success with the Orioles, but nothing like what he's had in the National League in his stretch with the Cubs, and now over here in the National League East with the Phillies, and they're expecting a lot. And look at all that. He's probably as proud of that Silver Slugger award as anything.
That's what jumped out at me. I mean, sure, you can pitch, but boy, you'd like to be able to swing the bat too, and he's in the right league for doing that. But you know, the changes that he made once getting over to the Chicago Cubs have really paid off. Kind of reinvented himself. And you know, the other thing that he gives you is, we said that, you know, there are a lot more two-seamers now. Very rarely do you see the four-seamer. It's more of a two-seam look, cutter, slider at times. You know, that hybrid pitch, good curveball. But even the deception kind of throws across his body a little bit, creates some crossfire.
It's a soft liner. Oh, and it's caught by Crawford. Boy, some hang time by Crawford to get over there, time the leap, and then stay up there. The ball was not hit that hard, and I'm sure it seemed to Crawford it was taking forever to get to his glove.
Yeah, the pitch gets in, boy, at the apex and about a foot behind the head. He needed every bit of that leap, hang time, and length of arm and glove to be able to come down with that and take away a base hit.
The ground ball up the middle off the bat of Kiermaier into center. Smith's going to head to third. So a couple of hits here for the Rays in the fourth inning. So they're trying to chip away. Yeah, the interesting part about Arrieta, well, there's a lot of interesting parts, I think, about his story, but, you know, he was uncertain after some mixed success with the Orioles. And there was a general feeling, I think, when he went to the Cubs, and Bosio played a role in that, you know, he's a guy who takes the job seriously, but sometimes got to the point where it was a point of diminishing returns, physically and mentally, from the emotional side. And he learned in that experience with Bosio, apparently, to work through that. That's up the right side, chased by Santana, and out of his reach. And in a nutshell, I think they got him to the point where he regimented his preparation time and started to believe that he was working on the right things, preparing for the next start at hand, and went out. He's always worked hard, but I think he was more confident in the preparation that went into getting him there. And so he went into each start with more confidence in the idea that he was going to be successful. Williams in right field will make the catch. Tag at third. And Malik Smith scores standing up, beating the swipe tag attempt. So Smith scores on Crone's fly ball to right. and the Rays are on the board.
Well, Nick Williams, you know, in attempting to try to cut down that run at the plate, and it's going to be tough and take a perfect throw to get Malik Smith. Look, he does not get that head of steam. He kind of catches that ball flat-footed, and now he's got to create all the momentum. That takes a little bit too long, and Malik's able to sneak in that back door. Well, Dwayne, you're talking about Jake Arrieta. The thing that comes to mind is that old adage, work smarter, not harder.
Yeah.
And I think that's exactly what he began to do.
Wendell takes a pitch down. 1 ball, no strikes. And boy, what dividends that has paid for him.
What a late sign too. You know, he didn't sign until into March. That slow-moving free agent market this past winter. Initially went in with high hopes of a huge dollar figure. Still got great money, but not nearly what he thought that he might get, was expecting to get.
2-0 the count.
I can't imagine how you're coming off the stretch that he's been on, and all of a sudden you are sitting around in February,
nothing's
into
happening.
March. Yeah, a little disconcerting.
This one is high, 3-0, and that beard has become an identifying characteristic of him out there. And I read somewhere where his approach to that was fade the sides and let the middle flow. That apparently is what he's done.
He's the National League Dallas Keuchel.
Wendell draws a 4-pitch walk, pushing Kiermaier up to second. Rays have a run home. Now 2 men on with 2 men out. Well, the Rays trying to chip away at this deficit. 6 of the runs came in the second inning when the Phillies sent 10 men to the plate. Duffy takes strike 1. Arrieta got ahead of him, 2 strikes, and then got him with that cutter in the second inning. There's a liner, base hit into left, gonna bound to the wall. Kiermaier scores. Wendell's gonna go to third on a double, and the Rays put up another run. Second and third now, and it's 7-2. So Duffy's double has created a little excitement for the Rays fans here. His second double of the year, 7th run batted in.
Well, the two-seamer, you see that ball just coming back middle in, and it stayed up. Matt Duffy going to clear the hips there, get the barrel to that baseball, and shoot this ball right off the wall there in left field, and the Rays do creep a little closer, and I'll tell you what, a base hit here would make things real interesting in this ball game.
Well, Wilson Ramos grounded to the shortstop his first time. He came into the game 3 for 4 in his career against Arrieta. Bounces this one, a chop down to Franco at third, throw to first in time. Rays do manage to put up a couple runs. They leave 2, and they're down 7-2.
in the top half of the 5th inning, and what we were talking about with the at-bats of J.P. Crawford. You're going to see the RBI double on the left and the home run on the right. Both of these 2 strike counts. And the first one didn't get quite far down as Chris Archer wanted it, and J.P. Crawford's able to line that ball up the right field line. The second at-bat, that slider just stayed up, and he was able to get into it. In fact, this Phillies team had at least 5 hits with 2 strikes, so it was just a case of Chris Archer not having the good put-away slider here tonight, and the ones that he left up, the Philadelphia Philly hitters were able to capitalize on. And you know that second time with Crawford, if you're going to go back to that pitch, you're really telling yourself, I got to bury this thing, because he got to the first one. And then all of a sudden, as that ball comes off the fingertips, probably not a good feeling for Chris Archer.
Now it's Austin Pruitt in relief of Archer. 4 innings for Archer. 80 pitches tonight. I want to know the count to Hoskins. Two 2-0. Pruitt was the losing pitcher in that 2-1 loss Wednesday in Chicago to the Chicago White Sox. And a high pop up into the scaffolding, and that ball is a foul ball and off the mitt of the Rays catcher Ramos. C.J. Cron coming down from first. They were both right there in the vicinity and trying to figure out exactly where that ball went and where it would wind up.
Well, Cron can't find it. He keeps moving in, and you wonder if that was a distraction there as Wilson Ramos is putting that catcher's mitt up there to make the catch, and the big C.J. Cron is sliding right by him. And you wonder if you catch it out of the corner of your eye and flinch for just a split second, and that ball's going to rattle free. That was right up there by what, the B ring.
It's a strike on the outside part of the plate now. Yeah, that went up into the scaffolding area. Liner into right, going to fall for a base hit, 1 hop to field. Hoskins is aboard. So that ball that was not caught by Ramos was a no play as a result of the level of difficulty finding it up there.
Yeah.
And everything else was going on the ground.
No, it can be difficult here, and we've already remarked on it in this ball game. And like I said, you've got, C.J. Cron at 6'3", 250 moving in on you. That's a little uneasy.
Split strike to Williams. Foul back, 0-2. So Pruitt in relief of Archer, charged with 7 runs in 4 innings tonight. Now Pruitt. And a base hit into right. Hoskins going to go to third, and it will be Philly runners on the corners now. Williams singles with 2 strikes. Both these hits in this inning have come with 2 strikes for the Phillies.
That little breaking ball right there that stayed up. I'll tell you, just having trouble getting that breaking ball to break tonight and get some depth to it. Usually Austin Pruitt can really spin that curveball. But you've got to give credit to these Phillies hitters, because it's one thing to get the pitch a mistake It's another thing to do something with it, and they haven't missed too many. In fact, some of their outs here tonight have been loud outs, hitting the ball hard, and that's really all you can do.
And Scott Kingery. Pruitt misses with the first pitch. Fastball off the plate, perhaps up a bit. Up the left side, foul just outside the line, 1-1. Well, this 4-inning stint for Archer, the Phillies had been one of 3 opposing teams he'd never faced, along with the Braves and the Reds, and now he's experienced the Phillies and was looking for something better than what happened tonight. It's another game of catch-up for Kevin Cash and the Rays. One and two. Backhand is Williams. The Phillies have been 2 games over 500, running 3rd in the National League East. Just a piece of that one foul. Recovered nicely from their slow start. Kingery with a double and a run batted in the 2nd inning. He doubled and scored last night in his last at bat in the 9th inning. That's a liner into left. That will get the run home. Malik Smith with the pickup. It's going to be a double, 2nd and 3rd for the Phillies. Hoskins scores. Williams to 3rd, and Kingery in his last 4 at bats has 3 doubles, including 2 tonight, and they make it 8-2 with that hit.
All right, another breaking ball here, and this is middle of the plate down, but Kingery able to capitalize. You know, these guys, we've seen some very comfortable swings here tonight.
All 3 of these hits have come with 2 strike counts.
They've come with 2 strike counts. The comfortable swings tell you that they're just too comfortable in the box. They've seen 0 fastballs with any intent on the inner half of the plate, and they're just up there looking middle away, letting it go.
Skies into center. Kiermaier grabs it. Tag. Williams heads to the plate. The throw's to 3rd. The run scores. So the Phillies come right back and tack on 2 more runs to answer the Rays 2. They scored in the 4th. Franco driving in his 13th run. So an out in the inning, and Kingery remained at 2nd base. 9-2 now. Jorge Alfaro the pitch is a strike. 2. Late slide to that last pitch. Arrieta going to stay loose and well circulated.
He's had to deal with some longer half innings. He's a rhythm type pitcher.
Count still 2 strikes.
He's got to be appreciative of his offense. You know, being down like the Rays were and able to cut it to 7-2 and had a chance, you know, base hit, that ball squirts through, could have been 7-4. So that you were on the precipice of really making this game interesting, and instead he gets the ground ball to get out of the inning, and they immediately answer with 2 more.
And here's the other thing, we're only in the 5th. 8 of the 9 spots in the Philly lineup has reached base. The only one not to do so is Alfaro, who has struck out and hit a fly ball to right. And 7 of the 9 spots have scored runs. So it's been top to bottom throughout this lineup for the Phillies tonight. Ground ball. Echeverria throw to first out there. Kingery goes to third. Alfaro is the second out. And 0 for 3. So here in the 5th inning, the number 9 hitter J.P. Crawford comes up. This will be his 3rd plate appearance of the night. He owns a double, a home run, a couple of runs scored, and a couple of runs batted in. Toward the line and left, Malik Smith on the run, and he makes the catch and holds on. Diving grab toward the line. Just for a moment it appeared he might not get there, but he stretched out that glove hand, grabbed it, and held on to retire the side. Nice grab by Malik Smith. 2 more runs score in the inning for the Phillies. They leave 1, and again, they are up by 7. Down by 7. Seaguy single, Texas leaguer, swinging bunt, Baltimore chop. All that matters is that it looks like a line drive in the box score in your march to $5.6 million. Download Beat the Street today. Danny Echeverria leading off for the Rays. Well, the Rays with a couple runs against Arrieta in the 4th inning. The Phillies promptly answered with 2 of their own. Right back to the hill. Arrieta with the underhanded toss to first. 1 away.
Now, the one thing that Jake Arrieta has done a great job here tonight of is keeping the ball on the ground. And that 2-seamer getting enough late movement to get these Rays hitters to give him a lot of ground balls, even some of the base hits that have been able to sneak through. Keeping the ball out of the air.
Johnny Field pitches a strike. Jumping away, 1 ball and 1 strike. Breaking ball in there for a called strike, 1 and 2. Well, Field has that first big league at bat out of the way. Ground out third to first. And now he's behind in the count here. The Marine looks on. 2 and 2. Field turned 26 this past February. Play. The count holds at 2 and 2. Arrieta had made only 43 pitches through the first 4 innings. Field, for the 2nd time, draws a 3-2 count here. Chopped to third. Michael gloves and throws. For the 2nd straight time, Field is out of there. Third to first. 2 up, 2 down. Go the Rays in the 5th inning. Back around to the top of the order now. Malik Smith. Smith singled and scored in the 4th. Retired on a very good play by the 2nd baseman Hernandez in the 1st. And he swings right over this pitch, strike 1. Take a look at this swing right there. That's a foul ball. He coughed that one up the right side. Just beyond the bullpen mound. 0-2.
Another interesting swing here. Sinker down and away. Then you get the breaking ball moving down and in. Pull the hands through down to 1 knee. He's got himself an extra base hit out of it.
He does find himself in positions that
easy.
Well, they're just unusual.
I know what you're saying.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He obviously is athletic. He can run. You know, and he's shown, you know, he can swing the bat a bit. But just in the first couple pitches there, how many hitters do you see do that?
It's the Malik's effect, Wayne. It's what they're talking about.
I think That's what you have to call it.
You know, this offseason, I inadvertently stumbled across a TV show called The Carbonaro Effect, which is very good, by the way. Well, this is the Rays version of that.
Yeah. I like it, the Malix effect. Up the middle, and he has himself a base hit. Well, there's a good Malix effect. An 0-2 pitch, single into center, and he is 2 for 3.
Well, the interesting at-bat ends in a base hit. Breaking ball, middle down. Look at him stay right on it, shoot that ball, give himself a chance. Got it right by the glove there of Arrieta. Right by the diving attempt of Crawford out there at shortstop.
Two-out base runner. It's Carlos Gomez. Gomez out on a tap to third, and a line drive caught by the shortstop Crawford. He sends one back into deep center. Herrera already there, though, calls for it, and just avoiding Williams, the right fielder, Herrera makes the catch. On to the 6th, 9-2 Phillies. Tonight's Geico great moment. A number of them. May 3rd, 2009, Carl Crawford ran all over the Boston Red Sox, stealing 6 bases, which tied a modern-day record. Carl off and running. Eddie Collins did that. He did it twice in 1912. Otis Nixon in 1991. Eric Young in 1996. And the fans got the Carl Crawford bobblehead tonight coming to the ballpark as part of commemorating the past 20 years of Major League Baseball here in the form of the Devil Rays and then the Rays. Top of the order in the 6th up, Cesar Hernandez for the Philadelphia Phillies. Pitch is in there, strike. Lifted into center, and Kiermaier's right there in just a couple short steps. One away. Austin Pruitt in relief of Archer. Archer gave up 7 runs in 4 innings tonight. Pruitt touched for 2 in the 5th. To Carlos Santana is a strike. 1-1. Headed to the left side. Duffy makes the throw. The Rays had the shift on, and Duffy, the only man on the left side, throws out Santana. Here's Herrera, the center fielder. 2 hits and 3 at-bats with a run batted in. He got into the act in their 6-run second inning. Loses his batting helmet with that swing. Strike 1.
That was some head of hair right there. Impressive.
I like it.
I like anybody that has hair. Big fan. How about this thing?
Yeah, that's good.
And a lot of work, too. You know what I mean? Taking frosting of the tips to a new level.
You know, hair has a mind of its own. See, it's trying to escape.
Yeah.
Right there on top of the helmet.
Making a run for it.
Cut and a miss. 1-2.
Mine escaped. All of it. En masse.
Still looking for it. Where is it?
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, that's a good look, too.
And off to school on Monday.
Ground ball hits the mound. Out to short it goes. Echeverria with the pickup. And it's a 1-2-3-6 for Pruitt. Through 5.5. 9-2. Draft room exclusively for Rays season ticket holders, blending hospitality and comfort, offering local craft beers and signature food items. Tropicana Field's premier destination, exclusively for Rays season ticket holders. The Republic Bank Draft Room. Call 888-FAN-RAYS for information. We should do a game from inside there. This pitch is a ball a little low. Kiermaier leading off here against Jake Arrieta. Only 58 pitches through 5 innings for Arrieta. The count's 2-0.
You think that would be a smart idea?
Well,
the
we
game.
might be distracted. There's some things to distract us in there.
Yeah. I mean, I'm willing to give it a try.
Why not? Might be fun.
Well, there's no might. It's just, you know, how will the last 3 or 4 innings go? Get off to a strong start.
Yep. Yep. Well, idea that we should consider. Getting off to a strong start. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. Trying to finish strong. That's the challenge. Three-one count. Big cut and a miss. Kiermaier had a base hit and a run scored in the 4th. A slow start at the plate for Kevin. Came in hitting 105. 17 strikeouts. Kevin had a walk and a steal last night. Base hit and a run scored in this one. Hoping that starts to turn things around, and that ball is going to drop. Base hit into center. He's on his way to second, and he's going to arrive in plenty of time with a double. Boy, that'd be nice to see his bat start to heat up like that. In the 3rd spot in the order tonight.
But really, it's just a matter of time. When he gets things locked in mechanically, you're going to see a lot more of this. And when that ball came off the bat, he was smelling a double, as he often does. And no chance for Herrera out there to even make a play on him on a ball that for most guys is going to end up being a single.
Here's C.J. Cron. It's fouled off the foot. Had a base hit off Arrieta's foot in the 2nd inning. Drove in a run with a fly ball to right the last time up. Arrieta getting a lot of run support. He's struck out 1. He's walked 1. He's have collected 2 runs, 6 hits off him. To take wide this time, 1-1. One now. How about that Braves Cubs game? At one point, the Braves had a 10-2 lead.
Yes.
They lost 14-10.
How about that? Gave up 9 runs in the 8th inning.
And over to third goes Kiermaier.
Speed, the changeup, and just not handled by Alfaro. Right off the end of the glove. That gets Kiermaier over to third.
2-2 the count on Cron. Ground ball shortstop. That'll get the run home. Crawford's throw to first with the infield back. The run batted in for Cron. The Rays pick up their 3rd run. It's now 9-3. 1 out with the bases empty, and Joey Wendell will be the hitter. Wendell walked in the 4th inning. Takes one too low, a ball, no strikes. Wendell had a nice little hot streak on the road trip and then cooled at the end. He's 0 for his last 10 now. 1-1.
You know, getting his first taste up here with the Rays, getting an opportunity and getting out there a bunch. handling some pitches, and all of a sudden he catches the eye of these opposing pitching coaches. And like, okay, what do we got to do to get this guy out? And there's the start of that cat and mouse game, where it's a constant series of adjustments between pitcher and hitter. You see that a lot. You know, you see some guys, these prospects will come up in April and May, and they are just tearing the cover off the ball and laying waste to the league. By the All-Star break, they're hitting 210, and just everything's spinning around. I mean, it's back and forth.
Well, that goes to the point of there's more work to be done than just what you see on the field here. Not only from the physical side, but just to educate yourself and be aware of the competition and what they're trying to do and what you have to do to try to defeat what they're trying to do.
Yeah, I mean, you've got to work on yourself. You've got to make yourself as fundamentally sound as you possibly can, all the while keeping an eye out for game plans and trends and all that stuff.
Chopped by the mound, will be charged by Hernandez. Throw to first will be in time. Window is out of there. So 2 gone with a run home. Matt Duffy will be the hitter. Duffy taps it right back foul. Strike 1. Arrieta won 14 games last year. His big year was the 22-6 season in 15. 1. 177 earned run average.
And you'll remember in the second half of that season, he gave up nothing.
Yep. Right back to Arrieta. Duffy's out. Pitcher first. Rays pick up a run on 1 hit. It's 9-3 through 6. Philadelphia. The Orioles 10-3. Alex Cobb made his debut, and it turned out to be a tough afternoon at Fenway Park for the former Rays right-hander. Red Sox finished with 15 hits in that one. J.D. Martinez hit his 3rd home run. 10 hits, 8 runs, 7 earned, and 3 2/3 for Alex Cobb today.
And now is not the time to be facing the Boston Red Sox. Really hitting on all cylinders, and you know, Alex Cobb, another guy that signed late, didn't get a full spring training. Try to get in the work that you can, and you know, he runs into a buzzsaw in their own building.
go to the 7th here. The Rays down 9-3. Reese Hoskins so far tonight has a single and a run scored, has a run batted in on a fielder's choice ground ball. He's also grounded into a double play. It's 1-1. Pruitt has thrown a lot of strikes, 31 pitches since coming on, 25 strikes. Two touch for a couple runs in the 5th inning, and then had a quick 1-2-3 6th. Damage spread around throughout the Philadelphia lineup. The RBI department, it's upstairs. The first 4, Hernandez, Santana, Herrera, and Hoskins, each with a run batted in. Kingery has 2. Mark Franco has 1, and Crawford with 2. Into right field. Field will have to go back on the track for this one. Hoskin is retired. Let's check in right now with Michelle Margot. Michelle, how are you?
Dwayne, I'm doing well. I have to say the Rays philanthropic efforts are in full effect right now. Today, the Rays Foundation donated $50,000 to Hillsborough Education Foundation. They surprised over 950 students and teachers at Crestwood Elementary School with school supply boxes. If you want to see the feature, make sure you tune in to Rays Live, the postgame show tonight following the game.
Well, that's a great gesture there. Money well spent. And here is Nick Williams on strike the count. Four innings for Archer, and now Pruitt working his 3rd. 1 out into his 3rd. Ground ball. Crone at first will make the play unassisted. 2 up and 2 down. Here's Kingery with the 2 doubles, 2 runs batted in, and a run scored, 2 for 3.
Pruitt out there attacking the strike zone. And Dwayne, you're talking about all the strikes that he's thrown, and after the abbreviated outing today by Chris Archer, imperative with the bullpen day looming tomorrow, that Austin Pruitt was going to be able to give him the Rays some innings, and so far so good.
Center field shallow, and Kiermaier takes care of it. Well, 3 up, 3 down. 7th inning stretch time. Fox Sports Sun is brought to you by your Southern Chevy dealers. By Kubota. For more information or to find a Kubota dealer near you, log on to gokubota.com. And by your local Ford dealers.
That was the groundskeeper, part of the groundskeeping crew right there, Dwayne. He abandoned his post to take part in a dance-off with somebody who had apparently 2 dislocations during his little portion of the show. They both, and look at that, how he managed to get Gabe Kapler's sunglasses, who knows?
There's a ground ball through the left side for Wilson Ramos. It's going to go all the way back to the wall, picked up there by Kingery, and after a turn at first, Ramos stops at first with a base hit. And Ramos opens the 7th against Arrieta with a single.
Well, finally able to hit one of those ground balls hard enough to get it that little 5-6 hole on the left side. A nice job out there by Kingery getting to that ball with some good hustle and holding Ramos. What looked like was going to be a sure double turns it into a single.
Echeverria looks at that pitch.
Speaking of Gabe Kapler's shades,
yes,
the Philadelphia Philly media guide,
yes,
the first one in history that comes with its own centerfold.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I've never seen a media guide with a pull-out centerfold before, but this one has it, and the shades play a very prominent role.
The Aviators you're talking about.
Yeah, the Aviators.
Yeah.
They're in there.
Wow.
Could be some leopard print. I'm not sure.
Really?
You have to check it out for yourself.
Okay, I'll have to take a look.
Yep.
Can't wait. Take over. I'll go check it out.
That's. I'm good.
One hopper to second. Out at second. Crawford's throw to first completes the 4-6-3 double play. Hernandez, Crawford to Santana. So, 2 quick outs. Well, there's the shade look.
Getting a good look at the field.
Yep.
Right there.
Nice groundskeeping job on the outfield.
Maybe that was what the dance-off was all about. Some trash talk.
Johnny Field takes a strike.
Speaking of.
Yeah, right here. Looking for his first hit, making his major league debut. A couple of ground balls to third. Breaking ball is in. Curveball. 0-2. Field down in the count. Battles that one. Fouls a fastball. Pitch up. Phillies have some action in their bullpen. The right-hander Arano is up and loosening right now. Field every time up has gotten down in the count, and the 2 prior at bats has worked it back full and then grounded out. So he's down 0-2. There's ball 1. Now 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Here it comes, Dwayne. First big league hit.
He's looking for it. 2-2 count. And another full count. Well, he's shown the ability to get behind and then work the count. Not chase.
No, and it you know, a little disconcerting being down 0-2. You know, you've got a long way to go to get it back to 3-2, and he's done it 3 times. Now poke one through.
And he draws the walk. So he reaches. Makes mom happy. And that's going to get Arrieta out of the game. Gabe Kapler strides out of the dugout. Call has been made, so it'll be a 6 2/3 outing for Arrieta. Call to the bullpen brought to you by the Florida Lottery. (9-3). Always good to have options. That's why the Florida Lottery has over 70 unique scratch-off games. So add a little play to your day with these new games. The Florida Lottery, it's your ticket. Claim it. Must be 18 or older to play. Play responsibly. 7 hits, 3 runs, 2 earned in 6 2/3. 88 pitches worth.
Well, he was staked to an early lead, economical with his pitches, able to work deeper into the game, and a ton of ground balls by Jake Arrieta, and that's one of the things that you look for when he's going good. A little help here by his defense and a nice double play.
And mounting Smith against Arano, lifting a high fly ball to center, caught by Herrera. So 1 pitch, Arano retires the Rays with a man left. On to the 8th. It's 9-3 Philadelphia. Tough outing for Chris Archer. He worked 4 innings, charged with 7 runs, all earned. A couple strikeouts and 2 walks. J.P. Crawford doubled off him in the 2nd inning, and then homered in the 4th on very similar pitches. 6 runs scored in the 2nd inning, and it's 9-3 as we go to the 8th. Austin Pruitt has worked 3, and he faces Franco to lead off the 8th. That's ball 1. from Pruitt to Crone to take care of Franco. 1 away. Jorge Alfaro makes his way to the plate now. Alfaro, nothing of 3. Only spot in the lineup not to reach base. Strike 1. One and one. Nine runs, 11 hits for the Phillies. 3 runs, 7 hits for the Rays. Up the middle, and that's going to skip through. Alfaro is aboard, and now every spot in the lineup has reached base at least once tonight. And our AARP profile with J.P. Crawford, the young shortstop, about to step in. He has doubled and homered. Robbed on a nice catch by Malik Smith in left in the 5th inning. His father Larry played in the CFL. His mother Beth, college volleyball player, and he's a distant cousin of Carl Crawford. His dad played at Iowa State before going to the CFL. Pitch is wide to Crawford. 1-0. Phillies chose Crawford with their #1 pick in the 2013 draft.
Well, what they hope is part of this young nucleus all coming up together. You sprinkle in a few veterans, some guidance and leadership along the way.
Pruitt behind him, 3-0.
Look at the division that they're in and the starts that some of the teams are off to. Mets off to a historic start.
And ball 4. So after the base hit, a 4-pitch walk to Crawford. Alfaro heads to second base. 2 on with 1 out in the 8th. Well, the offense has been there tonight for the Phillies, and they've certainly shown signs of that. They've hit 3 Grand Slam home runs already. Franco has 1, Voltaire has 1, Kingery has 1. Hernandez takes a pitch outside, a fastball, 1 ball, no strikes.
Well, I was really impressed the way that they came in tonight's ball game, and it seemed like the entire lineup was in lockstep with what they were trying to do and what they were looking for.
No, they've done their homework on Archer, that's for sure. One and one. Your homework never leaves you. I don't care what you do. You think, well, I'm in grade school, I'm in high school, middle school, I'm in college, whatever. Homework never leaves you. Better not.
No. And you know what? It becomes a matter of doing your homework, but you've got to be able to go out and execute it and get some help along the way.
Yeah.
So you can look for those certain things, but if you don't get them, or if you get them and you can't or don't end up doing anything with them, well, yeah, you had a nice plan, but it didn't work out. But it seemed that they had a good plan coming in. There were enough pitches that they were targeting that were you know, in some areas where they could do some damage. And to their credit, they didn't miss too many of them, if any.
Everybody started to move on that one, including Hernandez. He thought he was going to be rung up on that
He
pitch.
should have been. That's a fastball in. We have not seen too many of those. But a four-seam fastball in, that is right there, absolutely should have been rung, and even he thinks so. That's the giveaway.
How about that? And now he's rung up. So he's out on strikes. 2 gone. Austin Pruitt picks up his first strikeout tonight. Here's what's coming up tomorrow on Rays Live. Pre-game shows presented by Gulf Coast Honda dealers. Major League Baseball celebrating number 42. It's Jackie Robinson Day. A lot of festivities for that throughout baseball. Here's Carlos Santana on strike the count. Foul back, 0-2 count to Santana. Back of first, that's going to fall out of the reach of all the defenders, including Echeverria, who's shaded over there. Crone was after it as well. Santana lost a bat. He'll have to work over the handle of another one. Now 1 ball, 2 strikes. We're in the 8th. Well, that's 6 runs, 2nd inning. A damper on things for the Rays tonight. They've been worried about all those 1-run games, and suddenly with Archer on the mound, they were certainly not expecting what the Phillies did in the 2nd. Broke another bat and a ground ball. Crone will take care of that. No runs, a hit, 2 left. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Rays down 9-3. Sports Sound is brought to you by your local Toyota dealer. Toyota, let's go places. By Freedom Boat Company, the freedom to be on the water without the hassle of boat ownership. And by your local Honda dealer. Rays trail 9-3. They're on to the bottom of the 8th. Victor Arano still on the hill for the Phillies. Gomez taps it foul. Carlos Gomez 0 for 3. Kiermaier next, and then Crone.
Well, Arano's done some nice work coming out of the Philadelphia bullpen, working with a fastball and a slider.
There's the long one down the left field line. It's going to be foul. And Gomez here recently has toyed with about 3 or 4 home run situations where if he waits just a little bit or just a little bit more.
Boy, that ball, man, that was crushed. Get an exit velocity on that thing. No, it didn't work out, but boy, oh boy, get the head out. That may have knocked down the fair pole out there in left field.
He is out on strikes. Tried to check on that one, running down and away.
Unable to hold up on this slider down and off the plate. A little bit too far.
Kevin Kiermaier. The hits for Kiermaier. He fouls it back. Arano was in a handful of games last year for the Phillies. He's a guy, good fastball that we've seen, and he can get slider heavy. There'll be times when he'll throw that slider more than the fastball.
You got to go inside the numbers, D-Wayne.
1-1. Back into the screen, 1-2. Well, the Phillies do indeed go into the numbers, and now more than ever.
Yeah, I mean, as deep as any team out there. That's where they ran into some issues, you know, early in the season. But you know, they've righted the ship here over the last week and a half or so.
Kiermaier up after that fastball out of zone, perhaps. 2 outs in the 8th.
Fastball climbing the ladder, getting it right over the swing for the second out. You know, you look at Odubel Herrera. You know, he's been one of the best hitters on this Philadelphia team the last few seasons, and did not get an opportunity to play on opening day because of matchups.
Yep.
And Nick Williams expressed his displeasure early on. You know, even came out with the quote, I guess the computers are making out the lineup. So there was some disconnect between the players and Gabe Kapler, but you know, he said, listen, I'm going to continue to meet with these guys, talk to them. Communication is going to be the key in any relationship, number one. But number two, when you're going to rely that heavily, you know, on analytics, metrics, matchups, and numbers, you've got to be in, you know, a good line of communication between you and the players. That's key. And that might not even be enough at times, because they may not be liking what you're telling them.
Crone's not liking that. He tried to check on the pitch up. Arano strikes out the side, and we go to the 9th, 9-3. pitchers strike out 10 hitters. Visit CanesStrikeout.com for a printed home voucher to take to Canes Furniture within 7 days and receive a coupon for 2 free tacos and chips at participating area Tijuana Flats locations. Restrictions apply. Here's Herrera to lead it off in the 9th inning. Austin Pruitt took over in the 5th, so he has 4 innings under his belt.
That's been a huge help here tonight, where everything and anything has gone not the Rays' way. Austin Pruitt with 4 innings and looking to get this 5th. Goes a long way towards helping Kevin Cash out for tomorrow's ball game, where he's going to have to lean all day on that bullpen.
Line drive into right. Couple of hops as Field moves to his left to corral it, and a leadoff single. 3 hits for Herrera tonight. Now Rhys Hoskins. Well, the wrap-up game of this interleague series between the Rays and the Phillies, and we'll be with you at 12:30 tomorrow. Open day for the Rays tomorrow. Rhys Hoskins. Pitch is down. Ball, no strikes. Hoskins, 25 years old. Came up last year, got 170 at bats in, and was among the top 15 in the National League in pitches seen per at bat. So he fits right in with the Phillies' game plan. High towering fly ball to left. Alex Smith tracking this one and makes the catch. It's the first out. Coming up, Rays Live, the postgame. It'll be presented by WB Mason. Rich and Orestes will be along to anchor the coverage. We'll hear from Kevin Cash in the nightly postgame press conference, and Michelle Margot will have interviews from the clubhouse, all coming up immediately following the conclusion of our game. Nick Williams is 2 for 4. Ball, no strikes. Fly ball, not too deep. Smith coming in from left on the run, reaches out and gloves it. 1, 2, 3.
Ball right off,
basket catch
off the end of the bat. That forces Mallex Smith a long run.
The bat
Slows down, picks it back up, and then Willie Mays Hayes it.
And here is Scott Kingery. Right in and made that play. Kingery takes a pitch for a strike. Herrera the runner at first base. Hoskin and Williams retired back to back. Bigger expanding zone a bit. 0-2. Drew Hutchison throwing in the bullpen for the Phillies.
Remember him
out of Lakeland.
Yeah, and saw a lot of him with the Toronto Blue Jays.
Tapper foul. One skips past Ramos, and down to second base goes Herrera. It's a wild pitch uncorked here by Austin Pruitt.
When Ramos goes down trying to backhand that pitch.
Andrew Kittredge is up in the bullpen now. Tapper foul. Herrera opened with a base hit. Wild pitch to second. Ground ball handled by the second baseman Wendell. The throw to first in time. Man left on base after the hit. Wendell's going to lead off the bottom of the ninth. The Bonefish Grill fresh catch of the game. Alex Smith. Turn again, a fine play on that ball hit by J.P. Crawford in the fifth inning. That ended the top of the fifth. Appreciated by Austin Pruitt. We go to the bottom of the ninth inning. Drew Hutchison is the new pitcher. Be making his fourth appearance. Joey Wendell will be the first hitter to face him. Duffy's due next, but Daniel Robertson has emerged and is in the on-deck circle. comes out swinging and fouls it away. Strike one.
We talked about, Philadelphia in their last 9 ball games. 6-3 record, kind of turning some things around. They've won 4 in a row coming into play tonight. The starting pitching has done a great job during that stretch. Same with the bullpen.
How about that? Through the open left side, right up the left field line. Wendell's going to head into second, and he is in there. Well, they had nobody protecting that left side toward the line, and Wendell has himself 2 bases.
Well, when you look at that left side, and what's interesting with all this room over here, and Joey Wendell, we have seen him be able to use the entire field. And so he stays inside that baseball and just slaps it the other way. He obviously knows exactly where they're playing him, and if he can get a pitch to handle and take that ball over there, and then great hustle. No one even knew who to cover second base, and he gets in with the extra base hit. But that was the one thing that we saw, on that last road trip, Joey Wendell, when he was swinging the bat very, very well, the ability to hit the ball the other way played a big role.
Well, they gave him all that territory over there, and he took advantage of it. Now Daniel Robertson hitting for Duffy.
And what's interesting about that is you're not worried about Joey Wendell, the power. We've seen he can hit the ball at the ballpark. Saw that in Chicago. And so, there's no question he can do it, but that's not the big part of his game. So you give him a base hit over there, he's going to take it every time. Especially if you give him a pitch to handle to get the ball over there. He's not going to be worried about trying to turn and burn all the time and hitting it into the teeth of the defense. More than willing to take a base hit the other way, in this case a double.
Now a 3-0 count on Robertson, leaving Hutchison in less than a merry frame of mind right now. He gets a call there. Split the plate, and the count is 3-1. Wilson Ramos on deck. And ball 4. 2 men on with nobody out. Wilson Ramos. Ramos tonight with a base hit and 3 at bats. He takes ball 1 away. Time call. Hutchison's going to get a visit. Phillies broke this one open with 6 runs in the 2nd inning. Rays scored a couple in the 4th. Another one in the 6th. Phillies got a run in the 4th on a home run by Crawford, and 2 more in the 5th inning. They've out-hit the Rays 13-8. Visit over, and the 1-0 count for Ramos. 1-1. Recall Hutchison from his time with the Toronto Blue Jays. Little tap left side. Franco to Hernandez, 1 over to first, safe there. Robertson pulling up at second base. That ball tapped down softly toward Franco. And the Rays, take a look at this play at second as the Rays appear to have the bases loaded.
Daniel Robertson hustling the whole way. He is into the bag, into the front of the bag, and that forces a throw that cannot be stepped into. Not a lot on it. It's going to bounce. Cesar Hernandez, let's take a look. That foot is there, absolutely not close at all.
Some great hustle by Robertson. And a big cut and a miss by Echeverria. So the Rays have loaded the bases here with nobody out in the ninth. The other way. And Wendell against the shift double to start this one. And then Robertson walked. Hutchison wasn't happy with a couple of the calls early. Our closer Neris is up in the bullpen. Fly ball back into center field. Herrera toward right center makes the catch. Runner scores from third, and after the tag, Robertson goes to third as Wendell crosses the plate. The Rays had their fourth run of the night. First and third with one out now. Johnny Field will be up here 0 for 2. He walked his last time, so he gets another shot at picking up that first big league hit. Double walk, fielder's choice, and a safe call at second on the hustle by Robertson. Ramos reached. Echeverria drives in a run to the fly ball, and there's a pitch up to Field, 1-0.
Hey, how about get that first big league hit out of the way, run batted in out of the way. He's worked some really nice at bats tonight after being in some two-strike holes.
Swings through the fastball. 1-1.
That fastball just shot out of the zone. Get on the side of it. Look at that cutting action. Ends up well off the plate away.
Field started to go, check. Trying to be quick there and had to stop in a hurry. It was close. Got a little break right there.
Thank you.
Now come back and get that first big league hit. Ground ball short. Crawford shuffles it to Hernandez over to first. 6-4-3. So they get the double play to end this one. The Rays drop it 9-4. Arrieta's going to get the win, and Archer will take the loss. And so the Rays drop to 3-10 on the year. For Brian Anderson, Dwayne Stats, hope you've enjoyed the telecast. If not the outcome, with you tomorrow at 12:30 on Fox Sports Sun. Wrap-up game of this series. We'll see you then. Post game is next.